very small, a baby, a little boy that can deliver them. So he needed to grow in order to mature, to come to their rescue. Yes, still they were still crying. Right. It leads me to my second point, right. My second key. Persistence and perseverance through prayer is another key.
Yes.
So they persisted and persevered in prayer until the man was born, until Moses was born. And when he was born, he had to go through certain things. So to cut long story short, he grew up in the land of Egypt, and something caused him to move from the land of Egypt at the age of 40 years into the land of Midianites. And there he met a man, a priest called Jethro, and went into the house of Jethro, got married there, and began to live his life there. And at the age of 80, which was another 40 years in a strange land, God called him. So look at it, 40, 80. So they still had to cry for 18 years till their time and season was due. Yes. There is timing for everything. Yes. If your timing and your season is not due, you may cry and you may feel like God is not hearing you, but God is hearing you. But it's just that the time is not due, and so that is why you are not seeing any change. But that does not mean to stop what you are doing.
All right.
That does not mean to stop persevering through prayer.
Come on. All right. You got to
so timing is a key. Timing is a key. Timing is a key. And so the deliverer was due. He had an encounter with God, met him at the bush, sent him forward to go and rescue them. The Bible says he went there and began the rescue process. But before he went, when he had the encounter, he told God, if I go and I tell them I met you, they will not believe me. And so he needed them, the Israelites, in the bondage to believe him. Because without believing and having faith in him, they will not follow him. And as such, they would not obey him. So he needed them to what? Believe in him. There is another key which I call faith.
Alright.
So God gave them gave them some signs to go and prove to them, and they would believe him, and he will carry them forward. Without them believing God or the deliverer, it will be very impossible for them to receive a change in their circumstances.
Come on.
So the key of faith is also vital. Very, very vital. Without faith, you can never exercise the other keys. Without faith, you can never exercise the other keys. So the key of prayer, the key of persevering through prayer, the key of faith, the key of timing, and there is one more key: obedience.
All right.
So he took them from the land. When Pharaoh let them go, he took them through the Red Sea, parted. God did so many great signs, parted the Red Sea, led them through, and they went into the wilderness. But because of disobedience, the first generation had to perish.
All right.
He was taking them from slavery because their period of affliction has ended, and so there is a glory ahead that they needed to inherit, which was flowing, a land flowing with milk and honey. See, there is somebody sitting at the sound of my voice that your season is now, and your season is due for promotion, and God is going to put a laughter in your, oh my God, in your mouth. And today, by the close of this service, I see you smiling. I see you smiling. I see you smiling, for you have toiled, you have labored in faith.
Come on.
And your season is due.
Yes, sir.
See, the key of obedience would either derail you from the season or kill you. When you get yourself killed, you will not inherit the glory. The Bible says they went around the wilderness until they all perished. So there are some of you have missed You are in the same cycle because you have been disobedient for something that you needed to do in the course of the season, and so you are stuck in the season, and you are going merry-go-round like that in that wilderness. You can't get out because you miss certain principle, or you disobey the voice of God in doing something He asked you to do. I quite remember when I was in my wilderness season, I always wanted to run away from it. I told God, this is too much for me. I can't bear it. I need to go. And anytime I pack my bags and luggage to go to the house of the Lord, He says, no, I am not done with you yet. Stay. I have to stay. For 3 good times, He told me, stay. I'm not done with you yet. If I had gone, I would have been going to, because I will face the same thing and I'll be going circles like that. It won't end. So they disobeyed. Even their leader, Moses, their leader could not see the promised land. Why? Because he disobeyed. Obedience is a key. And I'm going to take you through all these things in a very vivid details. The key of prayer. Listen to me, child of God. Prayer is a key. Without prayer, you can never get through the season. Without prayer, you can never get through the season. 1 Samuel chapter 1 verses 10. The Bible let us know something in 1 Samuel where Hannah, the mother of Samuel, was in a state of confusion. I call it confusion. Was in a state of disgrace. Was being tormented by her rival woman who was married to the same man because she was barren. The Bible says he lifted up prayer because he needed a change in that situation. Because he was barren. He was barren. So he needed a change. She needed a change in that situation. And the very course of action she did, what she said, enough is enough. She went and prayed her heart out. So prayer releases something in the realms of the spirit. When she prayed, something changed that very year. Something changed that very year. And so the prayer provoked God to answer. The Bible says something in the book of Luke. I believe chapter 3 verses 14. It says everybody was being baptized. But when Jesus Christ was being baptized and was praying, the heavens opened. There is something about prayer. God needed, see, everybody was being baptized the same way. He looked at everything and said, no, I need a change. I need something extraordinary. So what did he do? He prayed. And when he prayed, the heavens were open. And there was an unusual encounter that he encountered, that the others that were baptized in there did not encounter the same thing. There is something about, so every situation, when you find yourself in that situation, the first course of action is prayer.
Come on.
You don't end it there. Hannah persevered even when the priest Eli was making fun of her, calling her all sort of names. She persevered. She never listened to what the priest was saying. That you are drunk, you are what? She persevered because she needed a change in that situation. She persevered into what? Prayer.
Hallelujah.
My second key. See, I want to hit the prayer key. The same key for prayer. I want to hit that again. See, there was a man in the Bible called Zachariah. When I believe you read Luke chapter 1, you will find that story there. Zachariah and Elizabeth. They were barren. I mean, they didn't have child. Zachariah was barren. The Bible says the day the angel visited them, the first thing the angel said was, your prayers were heard. Your prayers have been heard. And that is why God has dispatched me from his presence to bring you the good news of what you've been praying for. So prayer is a key. If you need change, they needed a change.
Yes.
The only first course of action was prayer.
Yes.
Prayer is a key to unlocking your change or deliverance. My God.
Lord.
Perseverance is a key. Without faith, you cannot persevere because you won't obey the process. And when you don't obey the process, you won't get the tenacity to stay in the process. And if you don't get the tenacity to stay in the process, you won't even pray. You will leave. And so everything will come crumbling down. So perseverance through prayer is a key, vital key. Faith is a vital key. Without faith, when you read Luke chapter 1 verses 18 to 20, because of lack of faith, when the good news came, the priest Zachariah missed it. He was down. Even though his blessing was due and his time was due, he missed it. He went down because he did not believe. So faith through the process is a vital key. Without faith, all these keys will come crumbling down.
That's right.
Come on.
If you don't have faith, you can't persevere. No faith, you can't obey. No faith, you can't pray. No faith, you won't wait for the time.
Right, sir.
So, faith, prayer, faith, perseverance. But I want us to just, so prayer, perseverance through prayer, faith, obedience. Obedience. The first example I'll give you is when the children of Israel messed up in the wilderness and they had to go through merry-go-round like that in the wilderness until they all perished. It was only Caleb and Joshua that were able to go into the nest because they obeyed and they had the faith to follow through. They went to the promised land. It cost the life of Moses. Again, the same obedience caused the inheritance of Saul, because God was going to restore the kingdom of Israel to Saul and his household forever. But he disobeyed a certain law and ordinance and rule from the law. He disobeyed the voice of God and he went ahead and did the sacrifice his own way. Instead of waiting for the prophet to come and sacrifice to the Lord, he did the sacrifice himself and disobeyed the statutes of God and the principles of God. And so God took away the kingdom from his hand and gave it to what? David. When you read 1 Samuel chapter 30 verses 12 to 14, you'll find that there. So because of disobedience, he lost something vital that the generations that were going to come after him could have walked through. So obedience is a key. Through the process, obedience is a key. Without obedience, you cannot go through the process and come out.
Right.
That's it. You lose.
You will lose. And timing, the Bible says in Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verses 1 that to everything there is a season and a time.
Yes, sir.
To every purpose under the heaven. There is a time, when you read the two, they say the Bible says there is a time to what? To be born. There is a time to what? Die. There is a time to plant, and there is a time to plant that which you have planted. You have planted.
Yes.
So there is a time to everything. Watch this. The moment the persecution started, they began crying. And because it wasn't time for them to be liberated, they were still crying to God for their change. Yet still, God did not what? Make a move until the time and season was due. That is when he sent the man Moses to come and rescue them. Even when the time came and he was born, because he needed to go through certain processes, it was still not due. Though they see a glimpse of deliverance coming, but it was still not due until they went through the entire. He went through the entire maturity process until the age of 80. Before everything was what due. That was the season and the time that was ascribed in heaven for them to come out of the what? Bondage. And so there is time for everything that you go through. And I want you to know today, everybody sitting under the sound of my voice, whatever you go through, whether good or bad, there is a purpose ascribed to it.
Come on. Yep.
And everything that seems so bad to you, seems so boisterous. See everything start like you see everything and everything come crashing down on you, and you feel like you are dying. Like your head is you are drowning. See, still there is hope for you, and through all these things, God is preparing you for a next level.
Yes, he is.
I want you to know that there is glory that is ascribed to the problems you are going through. The trials you are going through, there is a glory ascribed to it. And when you go through the processes and get, oh my God, get out of the season, you are going to see the boisterous, glorious nature. Oh my God, the cause are not amount to the glory you get. The cause are not, see what you go through does not outweigh the glory. That is ascribed to it.
Thank you, Lord.
The glory is so big. It's everlasting. It's eternal. When they went there, when they finally got out of the city, they went into a land that they never plowed. They never weeded. They never founded the city by their own money. It was already prepared. But God was making them a great nation in order to what? Take that land. Take that property, everlasting legacy.
Amen.
See, in your times of affliction, in your times of trial, that is when God equips you. That is when God makes you strong. Some of you may think, I am so drowning, I am dying because of what I'm going through. It is so serious that I can't even breathe. And so I am dying. No, you are not dying. He's making you strong.
Stronger.
In their affliction, He made them strong. He made them great nation in that land.
Okay.
Thank you, Lord.
Yes.
I don't know who I'm talking to, but I want to tell you that in that state where you feel you need a change, God is making a way out. There is strength coming to you.
Thank you, Jesus.
There is power coming to you. There is the grace of God locating somebody to propel you through the season. And when you maintain the key of prayer, when you maintain the key of perseverance, when you maintain the key of obedience, when you maintain the key of faith and determination, you will get through the season and come out triumphantly. You are victorious. You are victorious. You are triumph. Oh my God, over the works of the enemy. There is nothing that can. Oh my God. I pray for everybody sitting under the sound of my voice this morning. May you receive grace. May you receive power to travail, to prevail over everything that you are.